Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, and welcome to our channel. I appreciate you being here today. And for those of you that are not yet done so, please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. And if you find the content that I provide beneficial, please hit that like button. Now, a couple things before we begin. I always want to encourage each of you, if you have topics, if you have subject matter, if you have things that you would like to have explored or discussed here on the channel, feel free to get in touch with me. You can drop your questions or comments, in the comment box below. Feel free to email me direct. My email's in the description box. Or you can direct message me on Twitter at Jim Consultant. So again, anything that you would like to have discussed, anything maybe that you're having some difficulty with that has not been covered here on the channel, or something you would like to have more information on, please feel free to reach out and we'll put that information together for you and see if we can help you continue to grow and develop your business. Now, the second thing is we are now making available to you through one of our lending sources, we do have potential funding. If you're looking for funding that with no collateral, between $50,000 and $250,000, no collateral, click the link in the description box below. Just fill out the information, and if you meet the criteria, it can be a quick approval and something we can move quickly on. So if you're starting, if you're looking at starting a new facility, this is a great way to get funding. Or if you're looking to do some remodel, you want to put some money into marketing, some other things you want to do, this can be a great way to jumpstart you. Now, with all that said, let's get into our topic here today. And our topic is 4 keys to recruiting the best of the best in the gym industry. We want the best of the best. I mean, the reality is, what's the number one rule here is we want to surround ourselves with folks that are better at what they do than what we are, okay? Whatever it is we're asking them to do, we want them to be better than what we are. We want to develop people. We want to create people that are better than us. In a sense, this is what pushes us up, and this is what creates opportunity. So number one on our list to recruit the best of the best is, use your current staff. Okay, recruit, from your current staff. There's 2 things that I mean by this. Number one, who do they know? Who do they know? And I would consider offering some incentives. Maybe they get a bonus if they refer somebody, and once that person has been with you for 90 days, they get a bonus. You could incentivize this thing, but who do they know? Because many times, they're going to refer people who are just like themselves. And certainly in most cases, if these are top employees, they discussed what they do at the club. They discussed, how much they like it and what the great opportunity is. This is a great resource for you. Okay. Now, the second thing, kind of within that same number one right there, is also recruiting from your staff itself. You may have group exercise instructors, personal trainers, front desk folks that work in childcare, and say you're looking for a sales position. I would look there first. I would always look there first, because I don't want anyone to ever feel that I'm not considering existing staff initially. Okay, so I'm going to reach out to my existing staff as well. So I'm going to use staff in a couple different ways. A, who can they refer? And then B, perhaps they are interested, because you may have folks on staff that may have some great experience at this, and just as life changes and life kind of moves, they're ready to move with it. So I would look at those 2 particular sources within that, looking at your current staff. Number 2, and let me explain this one a little bit. We want to hire great athletes, not specialists. We want to hire great athletes, not specialists. Here's what I mean by this. What we want to do is we want to hire who they are. Okay? We're not hiring what they know. Okay? Just because someone has worked in sales, they have sales experience or things of this nature, that's not going to be good enough, because we can train that. Okay, I mean, you can have them watch our YouTube channel here every day, and we can get them trained up on that, hopefully, right? So we can train that. Hire who they are. What kind of person are they? What's their attitude like? What's their work ethic like? Are they coachable? Things of this nature. Okay, and with that said, anyone who's kind of going through this process right now, and you're going through some interviewing and you're unsure about some questions to ask, same thing, you can hit me up in the comments, or better yet, just direct message me on Twitter or email me, and I'd be happy to send you, no charge, an interview guide, a complete interview guide. And we have this broken down for every department in your facility and all the questions that you can potentially ask, to help draw them out as to who they are. Well, great athletes, who they are. Okay, we're not necessarily simply what they know. Number 3, keep your standards high even when the pressure is on. Okay, keep your standards high even when the pressure is on. Here's what I mean by this, is there's a tendency so often, we don't start doing this until we need somebody, until there's an open position. And there's very much a tendency sometimes just to simply try to fill a slot. And that is not what you want to do. You make some really big mistakes when we do this. And really the best way to do this, the best way to kind of keep the pressure off, and the best way to keep your standards high is be recruiting, be interviewing, be talking to people all the time. Do it before you actually need somebody. You will make much better decisions. But if you do find yourself in that position where the pressure's on, you have to get this spot filled, don't fill it just to fill it. Don't just fill a slot. Keep your standards high and maybe look for some internal solution until you can get to that point. But keep your standards high even when the pressure's on. And then number 4 is, here's the thing, okay, is genuinely I think we have to like these folks, okay? And so one of the things that I talk about all the time when people say, hey, when's it time to fire somebody, kind of the other end of, us trying to recruit here, right? And the answer is, when's it time to fire somebody, is we have to understand that what our job is to give 100% of our efforts to make somebody as good as they can be. That's our job in this scenario, to give 100% of our efforts to help make somebody as good as they can be. And it works a lot better if you like them, okay? And so what the message here is, can they pass the would you drink a beer with me test, okay? Would you have a beer with this person? Would you go have a cup of coffee with this person? Would you have lunch with this person? Do you enjoy, having them around, okay? To me, this is part of it, okay? Associate yourself with people that can pass that kind of test, because ultimately, we need to give 100% of our time and effort to make these folks as good as they can be. And it's much easier to do it if you like them. And I know it sounds like, really? You have to like them? Well, sure, okay? But a lot of times I see people hired that we don't necessarily like, okay? And I hear it from folks, I really don't care for that person. Well, why were they hired to begin with? Because our obligation, we have an obligation to the company, to produce and to bring in revenue, but we also have an obligation to this person, that we're bringing on board, okay? Because this is how they're going to pay their bills. This is how they're going to send their kids to school and pay their rent. So there's an obligation there too. Let's just don't hire them to hire them. If we like them, all the better. So folks, my name's Jim Thomas. My company is Fitness Management and Consulting. I appreciate you being here today. If you find the information beneficial that I provide, please hit that like button, and we'll see you on that next video.